Hello, Professors Lynn Birchfield and Denise Miller, and Elcom 101 classmates. I'm coming to you talking from the persuasive speech debative topic, which is fatherhood a missing need? I want to begin with a proposition of fact, which states that in 2011, 12% of children in married couple families were living in poverty, compared to 44% of children in mother-only families. This should reveal to us the impact an absentee father has on the family. This statistic is taken from www.fatherhood.org. The topic is dads are destiny to a child, and allow me to begin the introduction in this fashion. Rich or poor, white or black, to children of divorce and those who are born outside of marriage, struggle to life at an immeasurable disadvantage due to fatherlessness. When I was a child about 10 years of age, my mother left my dad to avoid an abusive situation and harsh treatment that she suffered from my father. This had an impact on me in my early childhood years and in my early teen years in a negative way. However, at the age of 17, they reconciled and got back together, and this began to have an impact on my life in a positive way. This shows the impact that a father has on the family. The National Fatherhood Initiative proclaims that the effect of fatherlessness is responsible for many social problems that include maternal and childhood health problems, incarceration, teen pregnancies, child abuse and drug abuse, and failure in education, compared to children who live with both parents. Children living in a single-parent home are at double risk and will suffer physical, emotional, and educational problems. This also tells us that an absentee father can have an impact on a person's educational, economic, and psychological prospect well beyond his childhood years. This statistic is taken from www.bls.gov. The negative analysis of fatherlessness can be reversed by the fathers, who will be restored to their roles and will take their true calling that they ought to be as men. Fatherhood has much more meaning than just the biological production of children. Fatherhood is not a choice, it's something you just choose. Fatherhood is a function of the heart, something that the father should want to do. I want to continue with talking about the problem as well as the solution of fatherhood. 1. Children in homes without a father are 5 times more likely to be poor. Infant mortality rates occur at a total of 23,000 a year from unmarried single mothers than in married mothers. Teens in a fatherless home are at higher risk of incarceration than teens from a mother-father home. Nothing is more frustrating for a distant father than not knowing who you are or what to do with what you have. Even more frustrating is to have an assignment, fatherhood, and not know how to fulfill it. The male without understanding of the role will suffer life as an experiment, and frustration will be his reward. Youth are more at risk as substance abuse without a father being involved in our lives. Being raised in a single mother home raises the risk of teen pregnancy. A child in a fatherlessness home is 2 times more likely to drop out of school. Children are the victims of abuse and resentment in a fatherless home. Fathers are in need of understanding the difference between being present in the same house with a child compared to being there for a child, meaning that there's a difference when you live in the same house with your child and not be involved in his life. So there's a difference between being present in the same home compared to as being there for your child. The majority of crimes committed in the United States are by men, and more than 50% are fathers who will unfortunately have a son follow in their steps. This is a tragic road to create for the next generation. Fathers that are involved in their child's life in a positive way are more likely to have children who will do financially well and educationally and as a father. A father's identity is not a matter of roles, but it is a matter of inherent purpose. Negligence is a leading factor in a child that has caused them to be angry with their fathers. A child that has grown up in a home where a father was physically present yet neglected by his father is also more likely to commit a crime, lash out in anger, and fail educationally, and will also repeat the same form of negligence he experienced as a child. So in conclusion, I want to say the need for fathers in these recent times we live in is so important. And fathers who are involved in their child's life set the course for their child's future. Fathers have an effect on the family structure for either a positive or a negative, according to how they are involved. It is important for fathers to be involved in their child's life. This is the sum of fatherhood. One of the hardest struggles of a child is the fear of not having what it takes to make his mark in life, especially when he or she didn't have a father as a role model. This is unfortunate to a child who has, without a doubt, so much potential. In closing, I want to reiterate an interview I had with a pastor who was highly involved with ministry and counseling with men and fathers. The following interview was taken with Pastor Kevin C. Brown of the Perfecting Church in Sewell, New Jersey. My question was to him first was, Pastor Brown, with the men that you have spoken to at men's retreats and men's events, what would you say is the number one struggle they face as a man? Pastor Brown's response was, being a man is tough as it is already in today's society, but I find that the number one struggle is being a father, especially for a man who did not have the fatherhood role displayed before him in his childhood. My second question to him was, would you say that this lack of fatherhood is or the cause for many problems that teens and young adults get into? His response was, in most cases, I would say yes. I have found that when I talk to most men that are in or were in a problematic situation, such as how they treat women, their anger, or committing a crime, the lack of having a father that was involved in their life is the root cause. In my final question to him, I had asked him, would you agree that a child or teenager that has the involvement of a father in their life will turn out more likely to not commit a crime or be abusive or angry as they grow up and when they're grown? His response was, yes, most men that did not turn to a life of crime or drugs or abuse women were men that had the involvement of a father in their life. So I want to thank you for listening, Professor Lynn Birchfield and Denise Miller, and the Outcome 101 classmates. And may God expand your life until your destiny is fulfilled.